This is precisely the issue that the book Great Expectations seeks to address. Those who cannot master wealth inevitably become controlled by it. Many spend their lives longing for material goods and money, yet fail to truly experience life. Their values, their relationships with the world and society become too narrow, and they end up living for money rather than truly living for themselves well. While money is certainly worth pursuing, we must recognize that people are the essence, and money is merely a resource. If we view the world solely through the lens of our own lives, we oversimplify the problem, focusing only on the purchasing power and consumption that money brings. However, from a broader perspective, we discover that the relationship between people and wealth has its own social and spiritual dimensions, carrying a meaning for life itself. So, why should we read Great Expectations today? Because it helps us free from misconceptions about money. Next, let's delve into the storyline of the book together, exploring how its protagonist's great expectations began and how they concluded, resonating with our own lives. The novel begins by outlining the protagonist's background. Pip is introduced as an orphan, having lost his parents at a young age. This setup by the author creates a sense of loneliness around him, as during that era, parents played a crucial role in their children's lives. In agricultural societies, parents left land to their children, who could live simply by following in their parents' footsteps. However, in modern society, children need more support from their parents. Thus, in the novel, Dickens places Pip in a situation where the absence of parental support, the most important support, leaves him isolated, fulfilling the narrative's needs. Raised by his sister and brother-in-law after his parents' death, Pip's relationship with them diverges from the norm. Normally, sibling relationships are warm and nurturing, but Dickens employs a narrative twist. Pip's sister is hot-tempered, making his brother-in-law Joe his closest and most reliable figure. Joe, a blacksmith, holds significant stature in rural society. Unlike farmers, blacksmiths are artisans whose craft demands both strength and skill. Joe isn't driven solely by profit. He radiates genuine inner strength and consistency in life, providing Pip with a different kind of spiritual fortitude. The novel's initial storyline portrays Pip encountering an escaped convict in a secluded spot, the graveyard where his parents are buried. Initially appearing menacing, the convict is desperate and hungry, demanding food from Pip, but he had to go home to get food such as bread. Despite feeling scared and timid, Pip's inner kindness and steadfastness shine through. He promises to fetch food from home for the convict, despite the risks involved. Pip's family isn't affluent, and theft would have severe consequences, complicating matters with his sister and brother-in-law. However, those driven by kindness often act without overthinking, prioritizing their good intentions. Later, Pip delivers the food to the convict, who exhibits a unique personality. Initially wronged and imprisoned, he discovers that the person who framed him is nearby and immediately sets out to seek revenge, intending to drag them down and inflict punishment. However, this pursuit delays his escape, and he is eventually recaptured by the police. When the police arrest the convict, he deliberately claims to have broken into someone's home and stolen bread and food. This thoughtful act covers Pip's theft in front of others, protecting Pip from the consequences. This incident leaves a warm and kind impression on Pip's heart, instilling in him a belief in the world amidst the turbulence of industrialization and his unsettled life. During Pip's childhood, he is apprenticed to Joe as a blacksmith, laying a solid foundation for survival. The greatest fear for many people is the lack of such a foundation, leading to a drifting existence without any professional skills. Professional competence is a systematic knowledge that requires years of systematic learning. Learning isn't just about acquiring specific skills, but also honing one's spiritual qualities, accumulating knowledge, and opening up social relationships. A grounded life depends on establishing relationships with the world through one's labor, which progresses from simple to complex tasks, from basic to advanced levels, continually fostering personal growth. Pip serves as an apprentice for 4 years, a crucial period that ensures his mental resilience. Blacksmithing demands physical strength and steadfast perseverance, qualities Pip embodies. Later, the second unexpected event occurs in Pip's life. Miss Havisham, a wealthy young lady living in a rural manor, seeks someone to bring happiness and companionship to her and her child. She notices Pip and invites him to her mansion-like home, offering him financial rewards and other benefits if he agrees to entertain and accompany her. This sudden twist disrupts Pip's life, challenging the continuity of his growth and development. Miss Havisham, despite her advanced age, remains unmarried, which in Western literature designates her as a miss rather than a married woman, regardless of her years. She had once prepared for marriage, with wedding preparations completed and a gown ordered, only to be jilted by her groom on the wedding day, who not only vanished but also absconded with a large sum of Miss Havisham's money. After that, Miss Havisham wore her wedding dress from that day for the rest of her life, staying in the meticulously decorated room prepared for the wedding banquet. Everything in the room had decayed, but Miss Havisham never wanted to leave. It was in this Havisham manor that young Pip first encountered Estella. Miss Estella, the aristocratic lady, coldly guided Pip through the estate, yet Pip immediately fell in love with her. Estella's temperament was unique, her face stern yet radiant. Why did Pip fall in love with Estella at first sight? I believe it was because of Estella's personality that shone through the gloomy estate setting. Her personality wasn't fragile or submissive. She wasn't a doll to be manipulated, but possessed her own cold allure and determination. We often say that a man and a woman resonate with each other due to some deep-seated commonality. When Pip met Estella, he actually sensed a resonance of life. If they didn't have the barrier of wealth and societal divide, they might have come together quickly. However, the greatest obstacle between them was that Estella's life was actually controlled by Miss Havisham. Miss Havisham didn't simply hate men. She could see through the most basic desires in men: power, including wealth and political influence, and physical attraction. Estella, being so beautiful, was used by Havisham as a tool for revenge against and manipulation of men. Estella was trained to naturally make men fall in love with her, flirt with them, and then abruptly discard them. Estella was adopted by Havisham at a young age and, being naive about values, casually toyed with men, seeing love as a game. The plot where Pip was sponsored by a mysterious man extended the potential for a child who had lost his father to grow up. Pip had no protection from his father and faced society directly. Originally, he still had a brother-in-law who loved him, but now suddenly, a new character appeared: money. Pip can squander a large amount of money and reshape his life with money. A simple, diligent, lower-class brother-in-law, who had not much money, passed on to Pip the spirit, which was suddenly interrupted by a mysterious person, and the money of this person would lead Pip to a different future.